Hey everyone, Microsoft reported fiscal 2023 third quarter earnings results after the markets closed on April 25th. I reviewed the big picture items in Microsoft earnings results and I've highlighted the important things that I think you should know and I think Microsoft stock investors should not miss, and I'm going to go through those in this video. I'm also going to answer if, for those of you who don't already own Microsoft stock, is it too late? Is it too late to own Microsoft stock? The stock has had a good year so far in 2023. Of course, if you've been following my channel for the year, you will have been privy to my top stock picks for 2023. I gave a list of 23 top stocks to buy for 2023 and Microsoft was included in that list. So far this year, Microsoft stock is up 14.85%, and that doesn't include the after hours move. Right now, the stock is up about 5% as I'm recording this video after it reported the earnings, right? The market liked its earnings so much that the stock is already up 5% after hours. So it's already had a good year, so you might be wondering if it's too late to buy the stock. I'm going to answer that question. So don't worry about it. You're going to get that information as well in this video. So stay tuned and let's begin. All right, so revenue increased by 7% for Microsoft up to 52.9 billion in the quarter that ended on March 31st. Earnings per share increased to $2.45. This was up by 10% from the same quarter the prior year. Analysts and Wall Street really liked these earnings results. This was much better than feared, especially Microsoft Cloud segment, which saw revenue growth of 22%. Now, the reason why I say this was better than feared because I want to say a couple of weeks ago, the report came out for first quarter computer sales, and those were down 30%, 29% to be exact, year over year. The first quarter of this year compared to the first quarter of last year, computer sales were down 30% this year. 30%, that's a huge decrease. Why that happened is because a lot of people bought computers in 2020 and 2021 when we needed to work from home, learn from home, and entertain ourselves from home, and do everything from home when the world was in lockdown. So, if you bought a computer in 2020 and 2021, you're probably not going to buy one for 4, 5, 6, 7 years. And so, industry experts already were predicting a huge slowdown in computer sales in 2023. Of course, Microsoft generates a good deal of revenue from computer sales, selling the Microsoft Windows to OEM manufacturers like Dell and HP and Lenovo and others, right? So there was already these lowered expectations because of that segment and understanding that segment was going to be down. And that was the biggest headwind in this quarter. Windows OEM sales were down 28%. And that was in line with the industry. Industry sales were down 29%. So Microsoft did a little bit better than the industry overall. Okay. Um, Nothing surprising there. Nothing that Microsoft investors and analysts were not already expecting. However, the bright spots were everything else, really. Everything else was came in better than expected. If you look at here, I pulled up this chart. I pulled it directly from Microsoft's earnings release. You look at productivity and business processes, that improved to 17.5 billion. That was up from 15.8 billion in the same quarter last year. Its intelligent cloud segment revenue jumped to 22 billion. That was up from 18.9 billion. The only area that declined was the personal computing segment that we discussed already. That fell to 13.26 billion, down from 14.6 billion in the same quarter the prior year. And so operating income, you look at that for productivity, that jumped to 8.6 billion up from 7.2 billion. Intelligent cloud up to 9.5 billion from 8.4, and the personal computing segment dropped to 4.2 billion from 4.8 billion. So the only segment experiencing headwinds for Microsoft, well, I shouldn't say experiencing, they're all experiencing headwinds. Enterprise-wide uh, invest companies are more cautious, and so it's business is not business as usual for Microsoft. But the one area that showed decreases in revenue and profit was the personal computing segment. Otherwise, the rest of the business improved significantly. I want to thank the Motley Fool for sponsoring this video. Visit fool.com/parkev for the 10 best stocks to buy now. And now, interestingly, as an investor, if you're interested in Microsoft stock today, you're getting a company that now has a greater percentage of its revenue and profit coming from growthier businesses, coming from productivity and business processes and intelligent cloud, and less revenue and profits coming from personal computing, which is not a segment that's a more saturated segment, right? Um, Most of the world, for people that want a computer, have a computer. There are parts of the world where Microsoft is gaining access to new customers, but for the most part, computer sales are not expected to be a growth business, over the next decade. It's mostly a replacement business. It's mostly going to be a replacement business with small, growth from new customers coming in from regions of the world where the market is not yet as saturated as developed as they are in developed countries. So if you were an investor and you were buying a business, you would be interested in a business that has more of its revenue and profits coming from areas that are expected to grow, coming from industries that are expected to grow. And after these quarters' results, that's what you're getting with Microsoft, because revenue in personal computing and operating income from personal computing fell while they grew in the rest of the business. If you just did a simple calculation, if you divide last year 4.788 billion compared to the total operating income of 20.364 billion, that number would be much larger than this year's number if you divide 4.237 billion with 22.352 billion. And what that figure will show you is a business with a smaller percentage of its profits and revenue coming from personal computing, which is a positive if you're interested in Microsoft stock. So overall, a good quarter for Microsoft, especially if you consider the macroeconomic headwinds worldwide. And to answer the question, is it too late to invest in Microsoft stock? The answer is no. The answer is no, it's not too late to invest in Microsoft stock. All right, that's all I've got for this video. If you've enjoyed this video and you want to see more like this one, I'm going to have a lot of videos like this during earnings season, one of my favorite times of the year. I love to analyze companies' revenue and profits. That's what I do. That's what I'm really good at, and I would love to share that with you. So I would really enjoy it if you were to subscribe. I would appreciate it a lot. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope I'll see you again soon.